Yeah, actually, this still has a foreign affairs implication, because if the United States is weak and we have an economic meltdown, we will never be able to stand by our allies. So not only does this have a policy impact economically here locally, but it does have an impact on all of our allies across the world. If you jump on usdebtclock.org, it shows our debt today at being 13.6 trillion and our GDP being 14.6 trillion. Government doesn't have an income problem. Government has a spending problem. 43 cents of every dollar we are borrowing today, we're borrowing from these so-called friends of China. And folks, they are manipulating. We need to cut back things that we do not need, strengthen our spending in the areas that we should be spending on, and we also need to give tax cuts. Instead of billions to Wall Street, AIG, and Goldman Sachs, we need to allow you to keep more of the billions in your pocket so that we can stimulate moms and pops and ensure all the farming investments on our entire country. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out that if you take more to the government will give us less. But if we give more to you, we will grow more and develop more. And that is why America has been the greatest nation in the world.
Yes, Congressman from Chrysler. What? you are getting hammered on your votes on the bailout and everything else.
Yes.
Tell me, what do we do? And did we do the right thing? Because you were the one sitting in the chair.
The question was, would you restate the question?
Absolutely.
I think you just took it a different place. And I love to address what you talked about, but I think you took the question a different place.
Well, the number one issue is the economy. If elected, what do you do to bring more money home to Michigan? And what do you do to get us back on the right track?
It is the number one job, and it's about talking about specific policies that we have to do. It's not about rhetoric or sound bites. So we've got to be solving problems that we're facing here with our small businesses, our entrepreneurs, our engineers. That has been my focus over the last 2 years and will continue to be going forward. In particular, where the engine of growth is for Michigan is our small businesses. That's where most of the jobs are created. Now it's where they're going to be created going forward. Small businesses need to have an environment that allows them to prosper. They face a number of challenges right now. One area that I've focused on, because I'm in talking to small businesses every single week, I'm back talking to owners as to what their challenges are, and one thing that I heard over and over again was the lack of lending, that they simply couldn't get the loans that they need to add employees, to make improvements to their business, to add inventory. You need to have cash in order to run a business. It's why I worked on the Small Business Lending Bill, which recently passed, was signed into law, that will generate about $300 billion of lending activity to our small businesses. This is not hollow rhetoric. This is tangible changes, tangible address to a serious problem that we have to have, and that's where I come as a businessman. It's not about rhetoric. It's about you have a problem, you got to figure out a way to solve it, and then you work in a bipartisan way to actually get legislation passed. That's what I did. That's what I'll continue doing.